Hello and welcome to our Spring Summer 2020 catalog walk here. So make sure that whether you're watching this live right now or you're catching the replay later on or you're brand new with us, that you start this video with a catalog in hand. So you want to make sure you have a printed catalog. Now, if you don't have a catalog with you, you can take down notes and page numbers from the screen. You can pull up a digital and print that black and white and write on that, whatever works for you in the meantime. But you do want to have a reference point. Now, this catalog that you're going to be writing in today, you want to go ahead and the first thing you want to do is write master really big on it so that you make sure you do not give this catalog to a customer. I also like to add mine to a little clipboard so that it goes with me if I go to an event, if I go to a party, if I have it right here at my desk, because anytime I learn something new, I found out something, I need to look up a question, then what I'll do is I'll write it down right here in my master catalog. And this will be really good for all of you, especially learning about the products. There's so much to experience, so many more categories than whenever I started out. So write master on the very front and write master on the very back. And if you have questions as we go, make sure that you answer or make sure that you ask those in the comments, and I will try to keep up with this feed as well. It's so weird not like seeing y'all are just looking at a catalog. But let's go ahead and get started. So the very front of this catalog, and I'm going to give you some little like side notes and little extra information that you might not see in the actual catalog. I'm not reading the catalog to you word for word because you can do that. So hopefully you'll find some extra tidbits of information, but thing you've ever seen. So I'm super pleased to see this really beautiful grid that does really highlight each of our product lines because we do have so many. And then if you notice, we have a brand new tagline. So our new tagline for Scentsy is fill your life with fragrance. And so you'll see throughout the catalog, it'll say fill your life with, and then like on the charity warmer, it'll say purpose. So that's kind of a cool idea as we're moving into creating new parties, new Facebook parties. It might be a fill your life with purpose post because we're talking about charity or whatever. Hello again to everybody who said hi. And you'll also notice that a couple of the photos on here are real consultants. So like the middle there, some of you probably know a Nick Gervais. It's not Gervais anymore, but a Nick is over there in the very middle on the side, and that's her team. So she is a superstar director out of Canada. And we got a couple of our new products on there too. This is region 1 that we're talking about, by the way. Okay, you're going to move to the first page. We always have a letter from Heidi and Orville. And so that is on this first page here. And then something interesting about that Scentsy mission is Heidi and Orville wrote this mission on their way in the car to the very first meeting. The very first business meeting, and we haven't changed it in 15 years. How incredible is that they wrote something that was so forward thinking that it's still not only relevant today, but it's been their compass as they moved forward through this incredibly quick growth over the last 15 years. So pretty cool. Then we have your table of contents. Last year it was on one page, which I loved. They've moved it to a few pages so that they could add some kind of imagery as well. Now, one thing that I do, you can't see me, but I take little flags and I tab. You see it on the photo that I posted as a heads up to this call, but I do little tags on each of the sections so that just at a glance, if somebody calls and like, hey, how much is that oil, and I have no idea, I can flip real fast to the oil section instead of going to the table of contents and looking at it or like fumbling through, because if you're looking for something quick in that catalog, you'll never find it. Okay, So there's the table of contents. You could also write your table of contents on the back of your master catalog if you want, just for quick reference. But I love the tab idea. I've been doing that for years. Now, before we move into the next, oh, I was supposed to be scrolling. Sorry. Okay, this is what I was talking about. Table of contents. Okay, so before I move to the next page, there's a couple of things on the back of my catalog that I wrote that I want you to know or write down. One is obviously make sure when you get your catalogs in that you label them. But one idea that you can do is for your catalogs especially is you can add your Scentsy story to it. You can add a picture of your family. You want your face on that so people can recognize it, know your story. You're talking about joining right here on the back, so it's a good place to put your story. Throughout the catalog, you can add samples or scent stickers. We've got scented stickers for all the new releases in the family store if you want to do that. I always like to do that with my host catalogs especially. You also will find on the Scentsy workstation all of the FAQs for the different product lines. So I suggest printing out those FAQs, you can just do it in black and white, and putting them in your master catalog so that you have those for quick reference, because anything that you're going to want to know is going to be on those FAQs. Next, you want to, before you take this with you to any party, Facebook party event, you want to print your current buddies, your current limited time offerings, and your current promotions, and the current back ordered or sold out list. That way you know for sure at whatever your event you're going to that you have the latest information. Also, there's a couple of tools on the workstation that are great to either print off or you can purchase the first one. And there's a product guide. This gives you a more in-depth training on each of the products. I'm going to give you a lot of those tidbits, but you can buy it for $2 or $3 in the family store, or you can just print it right off of the workstation. There's also a new fragrance guide that's incredible. It takes that Scentsy blog that we refer to all the time that talks about the safety of wax. It also takes another document where we talk about what composes a fragrance, the top notes, the mid notes, the bottom notes, and it explains that all. So it helps you become a fragrance expert, and that's what we all should be. I use the analogy all the time of a bakery, right? If we owned a cupcake bakery, we would watch all the cupcake bakery shows, we would read everything there is about the new techniques and the new flavors and try all the things, and we should be the same way and feel the same way about fragrance. So that's a really good place to start. So print that sucker off and just put it in your catalog. Take it with you. When you have some time, read through it. Okay, so let's go to the next page. We are on page 6. This is kind of cool. It's the first time that we have ever had the before and after photo. So if you don't know this story, go to Scentsy.com and read up on it. But Scentsy was starting in a shipping ocean container on a sheep farm. And you can see the picture here. And if you look really close, like right here, let's see, move this over a little bit. So if you look really close, all these up here, these are the labels for the bars that they would take off. Right here, this is literally where they would have wax and they would pour it into like ice cube trays, and the consultants would come and help them do that. And so they did the whole operation in the shipping container. And over here is a sheep farm. So it's pretty cool. That was just in 2004. And this is what our beautiful Scentsy Commons looks like now. And here's some more then and now fun stats. So it talks about, we have 10.5 million that we've donated in charities. We're now in 12 countries wide. And I'm going to mark, I want you to write these down for me. I always talk about R1, R2, R3. R1 means region 1. So we have all the countries that we're in broken down by geographical region. Region 1 is the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Region 2 is the UK, Germany, Netherlands, Ireland, Austria, Spain, in France. And region 3 is Australia and New Zealand. Of course, you all probably know, but in October, the Netherlands joined. So they are our newest country, and before that was New Zealand. Okay, let's see if there's anything else on here. Nothing on that page. Okay, so let's move over. Yes, I love the FAQs, printing those out so you have them at quick reference. Because if somebody's going to ask you a question, it's not always going to be at the most convenient time. Okay, so over here is the Fill Your Life with Purpose. So there we are again utilizing that tagline. I'm trying to be able to see comments in this at the same time. Okay, so the thing you want to know here, the Make-A-Wish charity warmer that is for the current catalog now, we are still honoring any a portion of those proceeds to go to Make-A-Wish through February 29th. So your customers can still buy that through February 29th. And if you only buy 2 of those, you get an extra charity ribbon at SFR. So get 2 sales in and you get to get an extra ribbon for SFR for your lanyard. This new charity warmer is going to Shriners Hospital. $9.50 for each one of those will go directly to the hospital, and that is through July 31st. Of course, for charity warmers, they cannot be purchased using Hostess Rewards, Perpetual Party Rewards, or Bundle and Save. And so especially if you're new and you don't know that right off the top of your head, you might just star that. The little star, you see the asterisk on the very bottom right here, and that will be true on any of the ones that you can't use, but make sure that you note that. All right, let's go to the next page. This is a big grid of a lot of really fun photos. If you've been around for a while, you probably recognize some of these people, maybe even some of these babies. You can even recognize where these things were at. Like this is the confetti that is always at the last day of SFR. This was at this last SFR where we had a little photo prop area. This is at a Superstar Director Summit. So lots of fun memories. So those aren't just stock photos. Those are real Scentsy people. And then, oh, this is new here. And if you haven't read through it, read through it. The wording is really well done. Like maybe it's the beauty of our products or the promise of new friends. Oh, no, I like this. It's life is a series of moments. Right now in this moment, something about Scentsy is drawing you in. Maybe it's the beauty of the products or promise of new friends. Maybe you want a discount on your warmers and wax or dream of building a business around the fragrances you love. No matter what, we welcome you. Wherever you are, whatever you need for us, start here with Scentsy. The possibilities are endless, but the path is up to you. Start making moments, start connecting, start filling your life. Like, isn't that beautiful? It was really well written. Give me some hearts. Do you love it? I hate not seeing y'all. Next week, we are going to move to our Zoom calls, which I'm excited about. Okay, we're moving to the Whiff Boxes. So your Whiff Boxes, the only thing really I want to notice on that is, one, they can't be purchased with Hostess Rewards or Perpetual Party, so that's at the very bottom. They can be used through Scentsy Club. So if they want to get it every month, every 3 months, whatever, they can sign up for the Whiff Box through Scentsy Club. And that's really great for you because it's just automatic PRV and it takes the work off of it for you. Scentsy Club, if you aren't utilizing Scentsy Club, we are pushing this even more. There's going to be more of a focus on this. It is not something that's going away. So if it's something that you just hope that you didn't have to learn about because you thought it was going away, it's not. There will be layers of what we're doing with Club that are coming. They're working on the back end of it, the technical part of it. I've been in conversations with the techie people, in some trials that are happening. So there's a lot of layers coming, a lot of really cool stuff. So the more that you can get people on board with this now, the better for the future of this program. But basically, they can pick any consumable product, the stuff that they use most. They can say that they want it every month or 3 months, and Scentsy automatically ships it to you, and you automatically get the PRV. It's pretty awesome. Plus the always get my bar. So if there is a bar, like right now we have, what's one of them? Is it lemon sorbet, apple press? If your customer can't live without that bar, they can add it to the always get my bar right now in Club. And as long as they're signed up with Club, we'll pour it forever for them for free. So that's pretty cool. Okay, let me scroll down, make sure we don't have any questions. Elizabeth, love it. Okay. Next page. This is new too. This is talking about all of the trends. So another thing that you could print here that would be cool, or at least to keep your eye out for, is these trends. If you start looking around in stores, you're going to start seeing this boho stuff. You're going to see dream catchers. You're going to see these. You're going to see copper. You're going to see some of these textures. You're going to see a lot of nature come into the picture. A lot of succulents. You're going to be able to see even the retro stuff. So some of the stuff that looks like 70s, even 60s are coming back. And so this just gives you a little overview of what some of those trends are. And once you see this, you're going to start seeing that stuff more out in the world. And one of the things that's cool, if you don't know, we have the most incredible creative director. Her name is Lindsay Randolph, and she travels the globe literally to help look at what the trends are going to be in not like next catalog, but talk about like 2 years from now. She is that ahead of things, and so it's pretty cool to have somebody like her and her team. And by the way, her last job, she was the global creative officer for all of Disney. So we have some incredible talent at Scentsy. Okay, something that is not in your catalog that you might want to write down is you'll notice right beside each of the warmer throughout the catalog, you'll see these letters, right? And so I want to tell you what those mean if you don't know. So G means glow. That's a soft light. The C is crackle glaze, and that gives it an aged look. The H means that it's hand painted, like this one. It gives it those brush strokes look. And then H plus R is hand painted and reactive glaze. There's one on here. There's not one on this page. And then the R is a reactive glaze, which gives it kind of a handcrafted look. So that's what those letters besides each of the warmers mean. Okay, let's move here. Let's see what Ashley said. Live for Scentsy Club. Oh, live for Scentsy Club. It's guaranteed PRV. Absolutely. Okay, this next page, like I said, I'm not going to go through each one, and I'm just going to give you some little tidbits, okay? So this Angel Wings one, it was on back order. It was super popular this year, this last season when it came out. One thing that you can do is personalize this. Lots of customers that have lost a loved one, that's lost a child, that's lost a mom, they lost a pet, have added some vinyl to this. So that's a cool way that you can utilize this warmer. Something else that's new is this Marrakesh warmer is brand new, and in person it's absolutely gorgeous. And there is a matching cord concealing stand called Stencil that has this same like the same style, like the same Moroccan tile kind of style. So if they like that, it's an upsell opportunity. So you might just write that on there. And then all this time they have added all of the baby versions, like the Live Simply baby versions, right next door, so you know that it's there. Next is a little luxe. So this is going to be all of the blingy blings. But besides that, I wanted to note that this one is a really good boys room warmer. Kind of looks like Superman. It's got that blue color of marble. It's got that cool, like, geometric, odd shape. So this is a really cool boys room warmer. This one, the Stargaze, is our second top selling warmer of all time. So if you weren't here for Stargate, now you know. You get to sell it by saying it was how popular it was, but you have to live through it. Okay, next is Country Living. This is another one that's really good personalization option. So Ray Dunn, all of those dishes, of course, are super popular. The font you can get for free on dafont, DAFONT.com. It's called The Skinny. And you can write words like people wrote poor, or write family's name on it that says established, you know, the Smith family established 2002, whatever. And so it's a really cool gift. It's a really cool option. And it's those little kisses that help seal the deal. If somebody's like, oh, I'm kind of thinking about this one, it might go good. You can say, oh, you can do this with it. And sometimes that's enough for them to be like, bam, yes, I needed that one little extra push, one little extra kiss. The next one is this country canister. And it says it here, but there's a piece of chalk that comes with it and a little chalk holder on the back. And so they can write their family name here. They can write sugar or poor or whatever. They could also use vinyl on here instead of using the chalk, because the chalk is, just so you know, it's not like the best chalk in the world. So it doesn't write as beautifully as like a chalk marker or like vinyl would do. Okay, moving on. These are all the warmers with the words on them. You, of course, Radiate Positivity up here is brand new. This Every Moment Matters. If you don't know, the Every Moment Matters is written in real wire, and so you can actually see that texture. So it's not, it's actual wire. So that's a cool textural element. Next, we're going to go to all of the creature warmers. So the Dachshund and Frenchie warmers have been extremely popular. And so now we have added a pug. You know that Scentsy's done all the research in the world to determine what the next best dog was. And so evidently it's a pug. The cool thing is that they did not add color to these so that it would work for any dachshund or any pug owner, because I have a dachshund, and I've had dachshunds, and my dachshund now is blonde. But if that was a black dachshund, I wouldn't want it because it doesn't make me think of my doxie. And so these all have a crackle finish. You can see that C beside it. So it's got that crackly age finish to it. So it'll go with any decor. So as you're looking through this catalog, as you're learning about it, start writing down, and it's something you can also write down in the margins since it's your master, is thinking about who would like it or what genres of people would like it. Like, you might just write down in the comments right now, like, vets, duh, right? What about pet groomers? What about my neighbor that I know has a pug? Whatever. And that way you've got those notes written down to help you remember things that you can do to focus on specific products. Okay, moving on to Woodland Wonders. I don't have much here. It already says on here, but these are harvested real leaves that they electroplate. So these are actual leaves that they are modeled after, which is pretty cool. Next, we're going to move into wax. They introduced this new fragrance wheel last year, and it's a really genius way to look at fragrance. Look at this. I'm obsessed with this rooster, Chalk Couture. Yes, yes, absolutely need a lab. Oh yeah, I can't imagine how many of those, how many dogs, breeds we could do. We need a cat next though. Okay, so you've probably seen this fragrance wheel, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but most fragrances can be broken down into these categories. And then you're going to always have this overlap of categories. And so if they like fruity, then you can also suggest the category next to it. If they like fruity, they'll probably like some of the citrus and some of the bakery as well. Now, some of these fragrances don't fit perfectly in fruit or perfectly in fresh, but it's the best ones in those areas. You can always go to your website and search for any note like mango, and your website will pull up every product that has mango in it. So that's a really cool feature that your PWS is good for to kind of supplement your catalog as well. So these are all of the new releases. Of course, they're all really fantastic. This time we have the fragrance family little icon on each of the bars. So that's different. All of the Scentsy bars are made in Idaho, and so you're going to see this made in Idaho heart on a lot of the products going through the catalog. We talked about Scentsy Club here. Please close the door. No, please close the door. We talk about Scentsy Club here, so it's just your cue as a reminder to be talking about Scentsy Club. If you don't want to run out of it, let's add it to your club. And then your bundle and save options. So again, upselling always, not just for your benefit, but for their benefit too. Okay, and then this is where you would put that fragrance guide to give you that extra information, and you can write down all the notes that you want in the comments. Like you might write, there's no flame, soot, or lead or smoke, because we're not burning a fragrance, we're warming a fragrance. And if you're brand new, then you might write that down. Warm, not burn. If you ever talk to a tenured Scentsy consultant and you say burn around them, you will like physically see them cringe. We don't say burn. We don't burn anything around here. We just warm it. Cool little side note, in all of the terrible fires that just happened in Australia, someone posted on our Superstar Director page of their entire, I mean, this is terrible, but their entire house burnt to the ground. There is nothing left except for the Scentsy warmer. And it's because our warmers are made to extinguish flame if something did happen with electrical. And so it wasn't burnt at all, but everything else was just gone around it. So kind of an interesting testament to the no flame game that we talk about. Okay, so you are going to see all of the new releases from the previous page also included in each of these categories, which is great. They just started doing that last season. So you'll see new, and then what are your best sellers. And you're going to see some new things in the bestseller list, and you're going to see some things that are no longer listed on bestsellers. That changes season to season. Johnny Appleseed, a lot of us are super excited about that one. That was a scent of the month last year. That was so popular. We begged and begged to come back, and it did come back. So we're excited to have that one here. You see the new ones as some bestsellers. There's a few more scent of the month. So strawberry champagne truffle, I believe that was January last year. Strawberry taffy. Squeeze the Dates, one of my absolute favorites, best lemon scent we've ever had. Those are from previous scents of the month. And then speaking of scent of the month, typically when a scent of the month comes out and a warmer of the month, they're available for 6 months, or if we pick it up in the next catalog, it would be longer. Now we've kind of transitioned into they are also considered limited time offerings. So that helps you drive Scentsy Club a little bit. Like I can't guarantee that this scent's going to last past this month, but if you love it that much, you can put it into Scentsy Club. Okay, so floral. There's not much they want to add here because they've added everything this time. We've got your bestsellers. Lilacs and Violets made it new on that list for the bestseller. Again, you're going to see this Idaho heart, talking about every one of these are poured in Idaho. And if you ever have seen like a region 2 or region 3 bar, they have an extra element to them where there's a piece of like hard foil almost a protective barrier. And that's because we pour those in Idaho and ship them all the way across the world. And so there's an extra barrier to help protect against melting and leaking or whatnot. And that's why. All right, let's go to our woods section. So Bonfire Beach, just one that we all thought was gone forever and we cried about, and it's back, and so we're excited. Saddle Up, previous scent of the month. If you have customers that loved Vanilla Suede, it's one of our most popular Bring Back My Bars. They're going to love Saddle Up. I can tell you, me and Lauren Floyd are super excited about that one. It's so sexy, so good. Weathered Leather, it's one that we've always had available, but they haven't always had it in the catalog because it's not a huge wax seller, but it's our #1 seller for car fragrances, for circles, etc. Let's see. Toasted Marshmallow is a previous limited time offering, a previous LTO that they brought back as a permanent addition to the catalog. Okay, all of the Disney products you're going to see in the catalog are going to be available catalog wide, like they're guaranteed to be available. It's not a limited time offering, so they will be available. And so we have these are all the same as what we had last catalog. I wanted to note one of those little kisses is that one of the things Disney is known for in the parks is hiding Mickey heads everywhere. And so you will notice that inside the dish, there's a little hidden Mickey head. So if you have some diehard Mickey fans, they will know that information, and that little kiss will just be the icing on the cake for them to buy. All right, this is where you will want to print, especially if you're going to an event, print any of the current Disney LTOs. There's a lot more Disney movies coming out this year. Mulan, I think, is the next one I'm excited about. And so you want to have those printed or ready, or you at least want to make a note in your catalog, especially new, like, hey, reminder, check the current LTOs and see what else is available in the Disney products. And if you're giving a hostess a basket party or something, you need them to know that information. So you need to print that out. You need to make that noted so that they know that there's other products that they could be purchasing on their party. Okay, so we have Lion King was an LTO last year, and that is back for the catalog season. So that's exciting. Dumbo, one of our most popular LTO fragrances ever, probably behind Stitch, is available. So you can contact, if you have been around for the last year, anybody who purchased Dumbo last year, because they probably love that fragrance and probably would be excited to know that it's back in a bar and a circle and a pack. So again, this is where you want to go and use that little margin and write down notes, because you're not going to be able to start day one of the catalog season doing all of these things, contacting all of the vets and the groomers, contacting all of your customers for this, etc. So if you start in your catalog and write those down, then you can kind of compartmentalize and focus on things that you can do as you're rolling out the catalog. Okay, Marvel and Spider-Man was another LTO that is now back in the catalog, permanently guaranteed for the catalog season. So that's exciting. And if you'll notice in the very back of the catalog, it says we have even more Star Wars and Marvel products in the works, which means that we're going to have more LTOs. And I mean, look at how many characters there are. So boy moms and consultants with lots of customers with boys, get ready. Okay, so kids section. Gosh, this used to be whenever I first started. We only had buddies, and then we had baby buddies. And a little interesting side note to that is that the category was doing terrible back in 2013. We even had a buy one, get one free over that Christmas season because they were not moving. And they were going to do away with the whole kids line until Orville's the one that decided and came up with the idea of doing the limited offerings. So the limited buddies and making those really exclusive. And that invigorated this whole line and then made it completely blow up. And now that same strategy is what we're using on LTOs. It's the same strategy that we use on the flash sales. All of that stuff really pushing those cells. I have not been looking over here. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Reactive. Was it the R, what the R was? What does R mean? Yes, reactive. I can write down anything afterwards. I'll just run Bonfire Beach first time. It's so good. It's another really sexy one. I know I'm like late on answering these. Okay. I can't do both screens at once. Okay, for your kid line, there's 5 products here. It's all over the place here. So I literally numbered mine. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what they're good for. So like it's not exclusive to these age groups, but like you kind of start here. This is where these are good for infants, right? And then you move into here. These are good for teethers because it has all the sensory, the crinkle legs and the teethers. Then you move into a toddler, right? This is the toddlers, starting to get into the dolls, little girls like dolls, the Scentsy buddies in that same kind of age group. And then you move up into school-age kids with those buddy clips. So we've got something for all different stages of kids, which is pretty cool. One thing on here that's really neat is that silk edging. If you don't have kids, you might want to know that that's a really big selling point because it's one of those things that little kids like to rub between their fingers and it helps put them to sleep. So those silkies, a lot of people call them. And there is all of these products are not recommended we throw in the wash, but we've done it a lot of different times, but they're all made to where they are almost resistant to where you can wipe them with a damp cloth. So that's helpful. So kind of stain resistant. And we've got this new one. It kind of looks like a ballerina. So my little girl's excited about it. Susie the Sloth. We had Susie the Sloth in a full-size buddy that sold out. And so now we have her back in a buddy clip. If you don't know Hobo the cat, Hobo is the name of Heidi and Orville's cat. So that's kind of a fun little fun little detail. I have a dachshund named Dexter, so I'm pretty excited about Dexter the dragon. Let's see if there's anything else on this page. So you will notice anything that's got it lists underneath here what scent it comes in. So everything on this page, right, it lists a scent. That means it already comes with the scent. And anything on this side, you get to choose. So any of the buddies, of course, and the Scentsy Friends, you get to choose a pack with it. And it also comes with like that little extra pocket, little buddy that's the same size as the buddy clips. Okay, let's move to our next page. Okay, so the fragrance flowers, these are, of course, absolutely gorgeous. The demand for these have, we've been chasing the demand on these since they came out last season. They are priced incredibly well, probably priced way too low for the market because you can see similar ones out in the market made of solo wood as well for $50. I think the Anthropology one is $50, and I don't think it includes oils. And so these flowers are made of Sola wood, S-O-L-A wood, and they are made in a little village in India that we partner with. And so every single flower is completely unique and completely beautiful. And now we've really expanded the number of fragrances, doubled them, I believe, because I think there's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fragrances. So there's a lot of new fragrances as well, which I'm excited about because I'm not a huge fan of the other 4, but I'm a huge fan of this flower. 60 days of fragrance. It's really good. This is another place where you can start writing some ideas in your notes, but it's really good for teachers. A lot of teachers can't plug up things for the use of electricity anymore or have a lot of fragrance in the room, so this is something they can set on their desk that's beautiful. You also can color these flowers, so if you color it with a marker, you can color the edges of the petals. Once you put the flower into the oil. It's a reed diffuser, so it absorbs that oil through that wick on the bottom, through that reed, and it comes out and disperses on the petals, and that's where the fragrance diffuses from. And so what happens is that also spreads that marker. So you can do lives where you can show them that you're coloring it and then show what it looks like over days. You can do parties where you're coloring those. You can do fundraisers with these things. You can set these at a salon and get your hairstylist to even do a party. I posted on Firefly, and you can write that down as an idea, a whole idea for creating a fragrance flower party. And it's just one sheet of paper that you leave with the hairstylist or wherever you want to leave this, and gather orders. So much incredible opportunity with this little baby. And as you know, probably, we went from $16 to $18, such a nominal price increase, but it was absolutely necessary for the demand that we have for these flowers. Make sure that you are super careful about a couple things. One, this metal piece is sort of hidden a little bit. So I always like to tell customers about that, make sure that it's out there, that they find it. The very bottom of this reed has a piece of paper on it. You want to make sure that they're taking that piece of paper off, because otherwise it kind of affects how long the fragrance lasts. It is oil, so just like any oil, if it comes into contact with the surface, it can hurt it. So you can get little wood pieces on Amazon for pretty darn cheap that you can give as free to anybody that buys them locally, or you might just give them a heads up. You might highlight it. I just highlight it on the box so they know. So whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, but they do want to be careful about that. Let me see if there's any questions over here before I keep talking. I've seen people customize the jars. Yes, okay, thank you so much, Paula. That is another thing that you can do, is customize this with vinyl. So you can do all kinds of stuff. You can do it as anniversary gifts and write established and their name. You can just write the word love on it for Valentine's Day. You can do a big fundraiser and write whatever it is on here. I did some corporate gifts for these for Christmas, and I customized everyone with the name of the business. And so you can do so many things with these flowers. And I talk a lot about focusing on specific products instead of just saying, hey, here's my hundreds of products, go pick something and have fun. I love focusing and kind of hyper focusing in specific time frames on things, and this is such a perfect thing to do it with. Okay, moving on. There's nothing new here, but I do just want to make a note that these both have fragrance oils on the outside of them, and so they need to hang freely in cars. Because if you lay this on a car dash, it can eat through a surface because it's fragrance oil. So it says that on all the packaging, but just an extra note. Here's another one of those Made in Idaho logos. The room spray. This is, I feel like, one of the biggest underdogs of our whole catalog. This has over 600 sprays in it, and it's oil-based, so it sticks in the air really well. I always tell my customers, hey, to amplify your fragrance, I always suggest the room spray to go along with it. And they always say yes. It's an excellent upsell, and they absolutely love those. So if they love a fragrance, upsell to the room spray. And take that with you to any event that you go to, any party that you go to, and spray that around the room, because it gives you that instant fragrance. And if you don't have time to get your wax warmed, or if you can't warm wax because there's not electrical outlets or whatever, the room spray is your best friend. The bar clips are doing really well. They are a pack of 2. Let's see. Let's move on to the next one. This is the brand new deluxe diffuser. You're going to see all the information you need right here, but a couple things you may not know is it does have the same limited lifetime warranty that our typical diffusers do have. So that's awesome. You see that you can, there's sliding controls to adjust the settings. There's 8 light modes. It's a very neutral diffuser, so it'll go in a lot of spaces. The price point is incredible at $65, so they'll be able to you'll be able to sell these a lot more to people, and make sure that you're selling our oils right along with it, okay? It also has over a day of fragrance in this reservoir. It is a huge reservoir. Another thing that it's not listed here is it is nebulizing and it is ultrasonic. So your oily people, your people that are really into it, may ask you those questions, and it is both, okay? Nebulizing and ultrasonic. Nebulizing is that fine mist for inhalation. Okay, make sure I got everything on that page for you guys. Make sure there's no questions. Are they all lavender? So they are all that neutral color that you see on page 43. This one. So all this neutral color, and then the light mode is what makes it look lavender. So you can make it look lavender like this, or the blue, or the green, or the rainbow, right? So it includes the color changing option for all of those, or you can keep it neutral. But it is all that design, that floral design that has the little flowers on it. Okay, next is our typical diffusers. So we've got this new shade here that I'm sure is going to be beautiful in person. Love this graphic here that shows how the different 16 LED color options can be seen. And let's move to, there's not a lot new there, so I'm going to move on to our oils. Now the oils, move this over a little bit. Okay, so this is a brand new way that we're organizing the oils. And so they are organized by mood. The descriptions for the first time are not on the catalog, but they will be on your PWS on your website whenever we go live. So that's where we're going to find all the descriptions for each of these. But for balance, this is increasing the Zen focus. It's got eucalyptus, mint, and gingers inside. The comforting one, this is for cocooning, right? It's vanilla, sugars, caramels. Calming is the serenity mood. Lavenders, florals, and teas are in that one. The next one is uplifting. This is the zing, the energy. It's got lemon, lime, watermelon, apple. This is good for the working out, the first thing in the morning. Another little tip that you can do for customers is you can have them plug in their warmers, their diffusers to a Christmas tree light timer and have it scheduled to turn on 30 minutes or so before they wake up, so they can wake up to that uplifting fragrance. Another note is that all of our oils did have a price increase. So you'll notice that we went from $10 to $12 on these. This is because we will not sacrifice quality for the price. We only source our essential oils from the very best producers in the world. So for example, the very best lavender in the world is grown in New Zealand and China. And the very best processors in New Zealand and China is who we get our product from, our raw product from. Those prices went up, and so our prices went up in the catalog. But I think we can all agree that $12 for these oils is really very marketable, still very much in a great price. And I love that we're still sticking with, we have essential oils here, and we have natural oil blends. That means that we have, I drew a circle on mine, essential oils, all essential, and then we have a circle and then another circle overlapping, and that in the middle is essential and natural oil blends. And that's because you can't very well harvest something like air to create an essential oil. So it has to be some natural blends in with the essential oils to create that. But they create the most unique, amazing fragrances that you can't find anywhere else than Scentsy. Okay, we are moving on to another brand new product. I'm going to try to keep this to an hour, so I'm going to push this. I'm going to go by fast on this next part. So this is brand new, of course. One thing you might notice is this is set in here differently. It doesn't matter. It works the exact same way. They have it in here displayed for aesthetic purposes so that the label is hidden underneath. But because the top and the bottom are open the same in that spiderweb design, you can turn it the other way or this way. Either way, it works exactly the same, and it actually fits a little snugger this way too. So it's just aesthetic purposes completely. This one is, oops, sorry about that. This one is great for cubicles, hair salons, traveling, anybody that goes to hotels quite a bit. It can also be used in the car. And then we've got 3 different systems that the pods can be used with now. Of course, the new Mani Fan diffuser. There's 2 different versions of Scentsy Go and our wall fan diffusers. Now the Scentsy Go, if you don't know, it kind of shows you, put an arrow from here to here. These are the differences. So we've got 10-hour battery life versus 18-hour battery life. We've got 2 fan modes versus the single fan mode. And then one more difference is this one you can get in a gold or silver band, and this one just comes in the white band. The biggest difference is the light on it. This one does not have the color changing light display, and that's why it can get we can get the price down. It's because the battery doesn't have to be as expensive. And then we have, let's see, there is 6 new fragrances in our pods. It's all starred here, the new ones. The other great thing about this whole product line, guys, is that there's literally no competition. There's no knockoff Scentsy Pods. So if you sell Scentsy Pods, they have to come back to you for more Scentsy Pods. They can't just accidentally pick up some on, at Walmart or wherever. They can't get the knockoffs. So this is a really good one. Are they all? Okay, let me make sure. Do we know if the new shade is beads? It absolutely looks like beads to me. It does. Sorry, I'm a page late on answering that question. She asked if this diffuser looked like beads, and it does look like beads to me. Okay, we are going to move to laundry. The only thing that's brand new here in laundry is that Scentsy Fresh moved to this category. You might have seen me on Firefly a couple days ago. Totally freak out because I didn't see Scentsy Fresh in the catalog. And thank you, Ashley, for showing me that it's right here, safe and sound, and it makes a lot more sense to be in our laundry category. So excited to see it over here. A new focus of the laundry liquid here is that it is a stain fighter, and it fights stains and cleans as well as the leading brand. That's all based on research and things they've actually done. Like legal has to approve these statements. So it is backed by like actual statistics and facts. And so this has got 6 enzymes, which if you don't know what these words mean, look it up. And read your FAQs, print your FAQs, put them in here. The enzymes go in there and attack it and eat away those stains and whatever else, stains and things, dirt. This does soft and static. We've got our upselling bundles here on the bottom. They're all septic and HE safe. You're gonna get that question. I say this is Epsom salt infused with fragrance. There's no dyes on any of these products, no color, so it will not stain clothes. And you can add any of the laundry to Scentsy Club. This is probably my favorite thing to add to Scentsy Club. They do not have to think about it. Their laundry stuff gets sent to them. This is a brand new way to showcase our Clean products because we can see what they're all used for, like what each thing can be used for in pictures. This comes out to $3 a bottle on this concentrate. It is 4 times concentrated. So not just a little concentrated, but a lot. Your bathroom cleaner, this one is citric-based cleaning, which means that your little kids can use this and clean the bathroom. Your little boys can clean their yucky bathrooms, and it's not bleach or anything bad for them. It also has a foam spray nozzle here, and that is so you can spray it on vertical surfaces and it'll stick there while you're cleaning it, like a shower. Soap, like the soaps come on a shower. Next is, this is the counter clean. All of the magical before and afters that have been floating around. This is this right here. Johnny Appleseed, much anticipated brand new fragrance in our clean line. I can't wait for that one. I'm super excited. And you can see the fragrance grid down here at the bottom. Next, and these are all made in Idaho as well. All of our Scentsy Clean products, which is super cool because we started in that little shipping container. Okay, so we've got 3 new fragrances in Scentsy Soak, 2 new in the wash, 2 in the hand soap and lotion, and 2 more in the body cream, and then 3 in our fragrance mist. But nothing has changed here except for we have no bath bombs. Right now, the rising costs made it to where we almost priced, we can't do it anymore with the formulations as they are now. So I anticipate we're going to have some LTOs for those. And then I think they'll probably be back in the next catalog or maybe the catalog after that, after we reformulate them. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know anything more than that. One other little like just side note that I think is cool is like she has tattoos. Scentsy's doing such a great job of like being more inclusive, and we had somebody in a wheelchair on the front page and these tattoos here and this like beautiful girl in our body section. So just a little side note, but I think it'll make a difference to customers. Moving on to our pet section. What is new here is we have the brand new scent Tea Tree and Peppermint. I know a lot of you had questions about if it was safe, etc. Tea Tree is safe under the 0.1% ratio, and we are well under that. I want you to know that Scentsy adheres to the very strictest standards on all of our fragrance products. We have an entire department of lawyers, a whole legal department. You are safe. You are covered with a tea tree and peppermint. But if you don't feel comfortable, then there's about 800,000 other things that you can sell, that you can promote. You don't have to promote that if you aren't comfortable with it, but no, it is completely safe. And if you look at any of the high-end brands that sell pet grooming stuff, you're going to see tea tree because there's so many incredible benefits to both of those products. You also want to print out your FAQs for this. You know, some interesting things is like your shampoo can be used for both cats and dogs, but the deodorizing spray is really mostly specific for dogs and not cats, because cats can lick it off and it cannot be good for them. That's why it says dog deodorizing spray, and the shampoo says like right here, it says pet shampoo, and it says dog deodorizing spray and dog detangling spray. So those aren't made specifically for cats. Okay, now we are moving into our typical stuff. Let me see if I have any questions. My husband would die without odor out. Oh yes, we do have odor out. Ooh, wow, I really like that. What percentage was that? 0.1%. You can look at some articles, and actually there's the FAQ. Actually, the Superstar directors helped Scentsy kind of come up with all of those questions for that FAQ document. So I took questions that y'all had on Firefly and actually answered Lacey back when she had those questions about it, and they formulated the FAQs based on what you guys were asking, what you were concerned about. So all of those FAQs were written by Lacey, and on that day one that we saw the catalog, and I think on day two, it was already out there. And so print those FAQs out and put them in that section. Okay, so nothing here that's changed except for it doesn't have that host kit, earn a host kit option like listed here, not that I saw. So I would probably print that or write it in here at least so that you remember, like, oh yeah, I can, if a hostess wants to, they can apply any credit that they earn towards the host kit, like a kit, or through the hostess kit. So if they have $500 in sales, like in here, they can actually get the hostess specific kit for free. Okay, next is nothing has changed here. This is the join section. And then we move into our fragrance grids and then all of our bundle and saves. So you want to mark all of these. You'll notice that we have this new pick two pets option. So for the bundling, so they save a little bit. And it may not see like a big savings on some of these smaller ones, like, oh, we save $1. But the reason it's awesome is because when it's in a bundle, they can use it as a half off. So then they can use one half off for two things that they wanted. So that's the benefit of some of these, like pick threes and pick twos. Okay. And then let's see, we've got that fold out like normal. You're going to see some other warmers and some other products here, everything on one piece of paper. And the back of that, we talked about that one a little bit, but you can add, let me see if there's anything else. Oh, one more thing is that in the catalog, the football and baseball helmet warmers are not listed anywhere, but they are available. They're just not in the catalog. So you'll see those on the PWS whenever we go live on the 1st. So, which is Saturday morning is when this will go live. Oops, I sprayed my cat. It's okay. Sprayed my ferrets. Or a kid. Oh, is that page 60? Thank you. Where is it? I'm looking. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's at the very bottom. Thank you, Courtney. So on page 60, here's the Earn a Kit. Last catalog, we had like an actual big photo of the kit. So it's right here though. Perfect. Thank you, Courtney. All right. I think that is everything. Is there any questions? Woo! I know that when we do these catalog walks, it is so much information and I just cannot make it shorter than an hour, but I hope there's some tidbits there, some kisses, some information that helps you. And I hope that if you're watching the replay and you're new, that it was a good investment of your time to listen in to these products and to learn how to make the most of it, because really Scentsy is about sharing the products. So the more that you can experience them, share them, the more knowledge you have about them, the more you know about them, the more that you're going to feel comfortable with your job, the more you're going to feel comfortable selling, the more you're going to understand how to upsell, what makes the most sense for them. So knowledge is extreme power in any situation. So no matter where you're at, if you are full-time, if you're a hobbyist, if you're somewhere in between, read this catalog, read the FAQs, get hungry for that information, just like if you owned a cupcake shop. Make sure that you become a fragrance expert and share that information. It's good information to share in your VIP group, some of these little tidbits. If you read an article about lavender in particular, or about something about nose blindness or whatever, add that to this master catalog and you utilize it and leverage it for little tidbits of information on your business page or to your VIPs, because that really positions you as an expert in this fragrance kind of genre, because everything with this catalog and with Scentsy is about filling their life with fragrance, which means we should be the expert of doing that. So thank you all so much for so much time that you have invested tonight, and I hope that it was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will be adding stuff once we go live on Saturday. We're going to see things. We're going to find out new things. I will bring anything that I find to you, and so will your leaders, and you can write that and keep a tab on that in your master. And if you find out any tidbits of that, feel free to add that into the comments of this master catalog video that we will pin and include with the new consultant information on Firefly. And that way we kind of have a running log of anything new that we didn't talk about on the video tonight. So thank you all so much. Have an incredible rest of your fall winter season, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye all.